Hey guys, welcome back. Module 8. We're talking about the relationship with nature. That's right, our relationship with nature. How do we exist in our environment and how the environment can affect us is something we need to process and understand. I want you to think about this. My guys out there, you're just moving into a new place, new apartment, new house. What is the first thing we have to have turned on? Or maybe not the first thing, but it has to be turned on before we move in. What is that? That's right, guys, the cable. That's right, we have to have our TV, we have to have our sports, we have to have our internet, we have to make sure it's turned on before we move in. Well, guys, I want you to think about this. Before mankind was created, our Heavenly Father created a healthy environment for us to thrive in. He made sure all utilities were there for us to have a perfect harmony with our environment. And it's not that our environment was created just for us, but our environment was created for us to enjoy, to exist in. And that is something we need to process and understand and not take it lightly. How our environment and how we interact with our environment can and will affect your health. All right, so here's something we know about our sun. Our sunlight is important to us, but do you know that your sun actually lowers your blood cholesterol? Sunlight actually converts your body and converts cholesterol inside your body into vitamin D. That's right, guys, vitamin D. And here's all the vitamin D you need. Think about this. A lot of times people are consuming things or drinking things because they want to get the vitamin D. But guys, all you need is 15 minutes of sunlight on the back of your hand and on the back of your neck each day, and your body puts out 20,000 IUs of vitamin D. That's right, that's all you need. 15 minutes of walking outside, getting some fresh air and some sunlight actually could help your body create the vitamin D you need to have a strong bones, to have a healthy balance of nutrients going through your system. You see, actually, sunlight helps you to deal with stress. That's right. What? That's right, it does. You actually have people who move down to Florida because they have a condition called seasonal disorder. They're not getting enough sunlight up in the area where they live. And so their doctors tell them, come down to Florida. I know, right? Move to a sunshine area so their depression will be under control. Their stress levels goes down when they move to a sunlight environment. So guys, getting outside and getting some fresh air and sunlight can actually be beneficial to your body and to your mental state. So when you think about sunlight, well, how much sun do I need? And when do I need to get some sunlight? Check this out. Avoid extra exposure to sunlight. When you see cows outside, why don't cows out in the pasture? That's right, guys. Cows are at 12 o'clock. They are under the shade of a tree. You see cows grazing earlier sun in earlier part of the day, but when it gets to close to that 12, 11 o'clock time, to start going under the shade. Why? Because the sun is at the highest peak of the day, getting much more of that rays coming down on us. So we have to learn, let's do the same thing. Let's follow nature. The best time to be outside is early morning and before 10 o'clock, 10:30. As well, in the evening time, like around 4:30 towards the end, where the sun is not at the direct height, it starts to shift down. We get sunlight, but we're not going to let direct rays affect us in a harmful manner. And another thing people are very concerned about exposure to sunlight is skin cancer. That's right, skin cancer. And you see people covering up and so forth. It's essential and it's needed to protect yourself from overexposure to sun. Now, another study is coming out. It says that excessive amount of meat intake, animal products, plus sunlight elevates and increases the chances for skin cancer. What? That's right. Guys, plant-based diet really has a real huge component into your body, into your overall health, even when avoiding skin cancer. So let's talk more about sunlight. Damage of sun, exposure of sun can cause stress to your system that can affect you for a long time. One blister and sunburn can double the chance of a child of having skin cancer as they get older. That's why it's important to take care of your children, cover them up so they don't get that blisters, because it can be damage to their internal system for a long time. High fatty foods, like we talked about with animal-based product, and a combination of high exposure to sunlight can increase your risk for skin cancer. And the sun doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, or whatnot. Exposure to sun can still be damaging to your skin. And it can cause skin cancer. Skin cancer can be caused by various of exposure. And like I said, it doesn't matter your skin. There's people who are darker skin and still have issues with the skin of being high exposure. Now, the pigment creates a little more protection, but it's still harmful. So what can we do to get a healthy dose of sunlight into our life? One thing you can do, open up your windows. Let your curtains, open up your curtains and let sunlight into your life, into your house. Because does it light up your house? Yes, and it makes you feel good seeing light, but also sunlight is actually a disinfectant. It kills germs. It actually impacts your melatonin in your body. It increases your serotonin and also enhances your immune system. By having good, healthy sun, it actually enhances your well-being and your health. So the best time, like I said, the best time to get exposure to sunlight is between that 10 a.m., before that 10 a.m., like 9:30, and at 4:30. Remember, the sun is at its highest UV rays between at 10 a.m. and at 4 p.m. So trying to make sure your time exposure is before or after that time, okay? Vitamin D exposure, 15 minutes a day of sunlight. Once again, I'm recapping on that so you can remember, that's all you need is 15 minutes of sunlight and it helps your well-being of yourself. All right, let's talk about fresh air. Fresh air is essential. Okay, I want you to do me a favor, guys. Hold your breath. That's right, hold your breath. How long can you hold your breath? Now, if you don't believe me how important fresh air is, keep holding your breath. That's right, you can't hold it long. For those you can, you realize your body still needs to breathe. You need to breathe because your body needs oxygen. Every cell in your body needs oxygen to function properly. So we have to make sure the oxygen that's coming in is oxygen that provides nutrients and health to ourselves and to our bodies and to our cells. So it's important that the air we breathe is clean, healthy air. One thing that I notice a lot of people do that affects that process of getting good fresh air is posture. They walk around in a very slouching position, okay? Or they sit in a very slouchy position. And what you're doing is you're allowing stale air to be trapped in the bottom of your lungs because you're compressing your body. Stand upright, sit upright, and allow oxygen to be exchanged properly throughout your body. You see, your brain uses 20 to 25% of oxygen of your blood. And so not having proper amount of oxygen coming in, your brain can't function properly. So it's important to realize the importance of fresh air. Our brain function properly and our whole systems of our bodies function properly. Even the fact of shallow breathing, like we were talking about, even breathing properly, focus on good deep breath. Good breath, inhale and blowing out, allows you to have the oxygen exchange properly throughout your body. Best place to get good fresh air, go to the mountains, go around trees, go by the ocean and get fresh negative ion coming from the ocean, and it recharges you, makes you feel good, good fresh air. Now, another thing you could do in your house, for every 100 square feet you have of a room, have a plant. A live plant in your house. Why? Because the oxygen exchange that you have with your plant bounce out that room, so the plant gives you fresh oxygen and you give the plant the carbon dioxide it needs to filter that process. Guys, it's simple. You don't have to be a green thumb. You know, certain home stores, home department stores have these plants very inexpensive. And if you feel you're going to destroy the plant, just go ahead and replace it and get another one. Don't make that be an excuse, guys. Make your home an oasis that provides oxygen that allows your body to have what it needs on a regular basis. Fresh air improves your well-being. Fresh air decreases anxiety. Fresh air lowers your body temperature, and fresh air decreases stomach ulcers. Guys, check this out. It's amazing how we breathe can totally help us live better. Fresh air improves our brain and our lung functions. Fresh air improves our ability to learn. That's right, guys. Getting kids outside and getting to exercise, your aerobic training in the morning gets the brain processing, getting oxygen flowing throughout their bodies, and helps them to function better. Fresh air lowers your resting heart rate, and fresh air decreases bacteria and viruses in the air. Open up your windows. Get fresh air coming into your homes, people. Don't allow stagnant air that's in your house, that we have pollution from the hairsprays or the cleaners that we use, and just stale stuff in our house. Open up your windows, especially at night, so you can breathe fresh air coming in and filter out the house so you can sleep well. Guys, your house does not have to be an environment that's toxic to you. When you open your windows and get that pathway of air flowing throughout your house, makes a difference for your well-being. Okay, let's talk about water. What is the benefit of water? Well, guys, water is life. Water is life. Water refills us, recharges us, and gives us the essence of life that we need. That's wonder why Christ called himself the living water, because we need water to function. We need water to live. You see, every cell of your body is made up 90% of water. Every cell. And you see, when water is taken in, we rehydrate our body and we're rehydrating our cells. Water actually can flush out toxins out of our body. And we know how much water we need to consume on a regular basis. We hear about this. We need to drink 7 to 8 cups of water per day. I'd like to challenge a little further. Focus on drinking half your body weight in ounces of water. That's right. Drink up the water. You'll be totally surprised. And we have some information we're going to share later on in one of our bonus modules about water. And you will love it and you will see the benefits from it. Water is essential for breaking down all the nutrients in your body. Your body needs water to metabolize protein. Your body needs water to break down carbohydrates. And your body needs water to process fat throughout your system. Water is essential for you to exist. Okay, you lose 9 to 12 cups of water each day by normal functions of life. By breathing, by talking, going to the restroom, your body loses water. So that's why it's so important to hydrate yourself on a regular basis. That's why that 7 to 8 cups of water is just not enough. That's why you need to go more, so to replenish and to have your cells hydrated constantly. You see, thirst is not an indicator for when you know when to drink water. By the time you were thirsty, you were already dehydrated. That's right. By the time you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. So that's why it's important to constantly drink water throughout the day, because your cells need water. Avoid natural stimulants such as diuretics, caffeine, your coffee and soft drinks, because what they do is they actually pull water out of your system. Like if you drink a lot of coffee all day long, you find yourself going to the restroom. And that's going to do is cause your body to lose water. Even when you're playing sports, you're outside and you're sweating, you find yourself being pulled of water out of your system. So that's why it's so important to constantly hydrate yourself, especially in the heat outside, to replenish that. So it's funny, a lot of times people don't realize they want to grab certain drinks to consume, like sports drinks, realizing the body needs water. That's the key thing. Hydrate yourself with water. Now, if you're outside in extreme heat, like we are in Florida, and you're outside for 90 minutes outside sweating, then you might look at some type of electrolyte replacement, like one of those sports drinks. But first, you want to hydrate yourself with water. That is the essential thing. So there's things that you could do, foods that you could eat. There's foods you can eat that can hydrate you as equivalent to drinking water, if not better. So you have your fruits and vegetables. You have like your fruit, like watermelon and strawberry. They're made of 92% of water. Cucumbers, 96% water. Your grapefruits and your cantaloupe, that's 91% water. And your peaches, your oranges, and your pineapple are around 88% water. You can eat your food and get nutrients and get hydrated. Now, vegetables also has the same benefit as well. You have your zucchini, your radish, and your celery, 95% water. Your tomatoes and green cabbage, 92% water. Your cauliflower, your eggplant, your cabbage, your pepper, and your spinach, 91% water. And your broccoli and your carrots and your green beans, 90% water. Guys, just by eating your fruits and vegetables, you hydrate your body and provide the nourishment your body needs. Guys, and it fills you up because the volume is there and it creates substance for your body. Guys, water is essential. Christ called himself the living water for a reason. We need to focus on hydrating this body and feeding this machine properly. So here's some tips that you can know if you are hydrated. You can actually push down on your finger, and if it doesn't pop up back up very quickly, then you know you're not hydrated enough. Another thing you can use when you go into the restroom and your urine is not clear or slightly yellow, you know you're not consuming enough water. If your urine's like dark yellow or very, or even some cases I've seen heard brown, that's not healthy at all. You need to hydrate yourself and drink water on a regular basis. So those are simple things you can know where not push on your skin to see if I'm getting enough hydration, but also when I go to the restroom, am I going regularly enough to filter myself out? Guys, you need to understand your environment is there to be a blessing. And how we interact with our environments makes a world of difference to our health and our well-being. Adequate sunlight is important for us. And appropriate sunlight, too much can be harmful. So we have to learn to find that balance and getting that healthy exposure to sunlight. A lot of times people don't go outside enough. They go to the house and the only sunlight they see is from the house to the car, from the car to the work, or car to a place. Get outside, play outside, enjoy nature, enjoy the sunlight that God provided for us. Fresh air is essential for us to function properly. Get outside and just breathe fresh air. Drink your water. Water is essential for us to survive. Our cells need water. Do not, people, I do not agree with the concept of drinking any type of liquid and your body will get the water that needs to be hydrated. I think that's extra stress on your kidneys to filter all that junk out to get what it really wants. It needs water. So there's so many things you could do. Add some fruit to your water. Add some mint leaves to your water. Enhance your water for those who don't feel comfortable drinking water to learn to incorporate water into your life. It's a process, and we're going to talk about that. We talked about that in our meal plan of our recipe we have to help you consume water. Guys, our environment is there for us. We have to learn to protect our environment and to enjoy our environment and get the blessing from our environment. God created for us to exist with. We have to understand our role and our part in this environment and in our role with nature so we can have the health benefits that we need. Guys, God loves us and we have to learn to trust his ways when it comes to interacting with our nature. And because, guys, it's the only one we have. And so we have to treasure it and nurture it. And I also want you to do some research. We got some later in our bonus section, we're going to talk about how animal production can actually cause destruction to our environment and how it's the number one cause of our ecosystem. It's not all what we're hearing about with all the emissions and conserving energy with solar panels and all the stuff we have with our cars and so forth. You want to see and learn how so much and more of a greater cause to affect, to damage in our ecosystem and our environment comes from the production of animal products. It will blow you away. And I want you to stay tuned and check that stuff out later. But guys, this module is about learning to understand our relationship with our nature and how it could benefit us. So guys, I'm excited. You're going to learn a lot more this week. Stay tuned. I'm so excited to be with you guys. We have one more module to go, week 9, and we're going to wrap this whole program up. You guys are doing a great job. I'm so proud of you so far. Your life has changed, and I'm so excited to do and to go along with this journey with you. Guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you very soon.